Hi, I'm Winnie Bennett with Landmark Home Warranty, and today I'm going to be teaching you about toilets. Let's begin by talking about the two main parts of a toilet. The first part is the tank, the second part is the bowl. Let's take a look at the bowl first because its design is the most important part of how a toilet actually functions. There are two parts that make up the bowl of the toilet. First is the literal bowl. It holds water and waste. The second part is the tube that connects that bowl to the sewer below. This tube or pipe is the siphon of the toilet. Now you may be wondering, what is a siphon? A siphon is any pipe that moves liquid from a large reservoir upwards and then down by creating a vacuum. Generally, you don't see water moving upwards, so how exactly does a siphon do that? Gravity. When a large amount of liquid is forced into that main reservoir, gravity takes care of the rest. It moves the liquid up over the pipe and then back down. Since water is adhesive, its molecules stick together. Once the water begins to move over that U shape, it creates a vacuum that drags the rest of the reservoir down that pipe. So, when you press the handle to flush the toilet, a large amount of water is dumped into the bowl from the tank. That gravitational push pushes the water and waste from the toilet bowl over the top of the U-shaped siphon, and a vacuum drags the rest of the water and waste down into the sewer. Now let's look at the tank of the toilet. What is its role in all of this? Well, the tank provides that gravitational push to start the toilet flushing. It releases 2 gallons of water into the bowl. Let's take a closer look. Alright, I've taken the back off of this tank, and you can see it's relatively simplistic. The first thing you can see is this is the handle. The handle inside of the tank is connected to what is called the lift lever. This lift lever is connected to the lift chain, which is connected to the flapper. The flapper sits on the seat of the tank, and it creates a seal, so it makes sure that this water right here doesn't go into the bowl of the toilet, causing that flush until you want it to by depressing this handle. This apparatus here looks very complex, but it really isn't. It actually starts the whole process of filling the tank back up again after you've flushed and had this 2 gallons of water go into the bowl and start the flush cycle. So down at the very bottom of this tank, connected to the wall, is the supply valve, and you can't see it in this shot, but it brings water up to this fill valve up through this pipe right here, and this is the fill valve. It's connected to the overflow tube, and that overflow tube is connected to the bowl. So what happens is water comes through the supply valve, up through this pipe, and to the fill valve, and that's where this part of the fill valve comes into play. This is called the float, and the float does exactly what its name is. It floats, and when it gets to the predetermined level determined by this pole right here, it stops this from putting any more water into the overflow valve. So what does a flush look like without the toilet tank lid on? Let's take a look. You depress the handle, it lifts up the flap, the flap goes down, and the toilet tank begins to refill through that valve. As the water gets to the float, it does indeed begin to float on top of the water. And as it gets up to the certain predetermined point, it will shut off that valve. And there you go. That's what a flush looks like from the toilet tank point of view. Thank you for watching this video. Landmark Home Warranty hopes you have learned a lot about how your toilet works. For some simple do-it-yourself repairs that you can make on your own toilet, please follow the link in the description. If you have any questions about home warranties or Landmark Home Warranty itself, please go to www.landmarkhw.com. Thank you.